We are going to be getting started in just a moment. Marsha has an amazing presentation planned out for today. She's going to be on screen. We're going to be seeing her presentation. It's going to be great. Right? Okay, Patrick, with the support. We love that. And we are recording. We will be getting a copy of this later on. We do want to make sure that you do know that this is a recorded webinar. And also, if you have any questions, please make sure to put those in the Q&A box as well. As we end the session today, Jonathan will be coming in and he will be delving into our Q&A session. So that I'm always excited about that part. It's been getting really juicy in those parts as well.
All right. I'm excited.
Yes. All right, y'all. We are so excited, one, to have Marsha. I just got online with her. We chatted a little bit. She's like, oh, I'm just a little nervous before. She wants to make sure everything is right for y'all. And we are in for a treat. Number one, she has an amazing workbook for us. We're going to be getting that later on today in the presentation. We're going to be dropping that link for all of you. She's developed this amazing workbook for all of you. But I'm excited because she's going to be bringing this great session to us. And it's going to be from idea to reality, how to make that business come to fruition. And just really pumped to have her speak with us. She is a wealth of knowledge. Her personality is amazing, off the charts. And I'm just going to turn it over to her without further ado. Thank you so much, Marsha. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey, and everyone who's in here. I see Patrick and Jonathan and Jay. And thank you guys so much for having me. Well, we had a little snare here in Houston, and yeah, we're having storms in Houston, and our light and our power is going in and out, and at home the power is going in and out. And I was like, okay, I can't rely on this, so I had to pack up. My husband and I packed up, and we're right here in La Madeline, so that's what you see behind me. But we are making it happen. So let's get into it. So I want to take us on a journey today, and I hope you have your pen and paper. If you know anything about me, I like to drop gems, okay? Something that you can walk away with at the end of this presentation. So sometimes I'll bring the slide, sometimes I'll come back, and then of course the Jeffrey will drop the free workbook I made for you, where you can have that to kind of do stuff this weekend if you want. But I wanted to kind of do something a little different so you wouldn't just have to be watching me or whatever. But and I like how Jonathan and I've been loving everybody's presentations this week, the ones that I was able to sit in on. But I like how Jonathan picked this for me, from idea to reality, the path to business success. Because the thing about it is, I have been on this path, and at the beginning of this path, there was no success, okay? And I woke up and I told my husband I had this idea. And we had already been in business with, we do photography and video. He's a drone pilot. And I was like, I think I want to start doing social media. And he's like, okay. And he goes, well, I said, because our business is slowing down and something is going on. And we were doing photography and video. I said, something is going on. And I think it's social media. And I'm like, I need to learn it so I can keep my business growing. So that was my idea. I just started. No followers, no customers, no nothing. And the thing about it is, we can start at that place, what I like to call it, from ground zero or from scratch, and move forward. And I'm going to give you 6 steps that's been helping me on this path to business success. And so I started learning it. I started learning everything about social media. I was like, well, I'm going to teach it to my fellow photographer friends. And then I started teaching it to my fellow photography friends. I was like, if you guys want to stay in business, well, you need to keep this going. Well, people heard about me teaching it at my photography studio. And they were like, can you come teach it to us? Can you come teach it? Then organizations start saying, can you come teach it to us? And that's how my journey started. And then I started teaching it for chambers, and then I started teaching it for conferences. And I was like, wow, okay, this is pretty good. And then I started learning more. And as the years went on, as you know, social media has changed so much. So we have to keep up with the trends. Things that happened last year, we can't even rely on that. That's how we have to keep up with the trend. So let's get started here. So from idea to reality, if you have questions, put them in the chat or QA. Jeffrey is awesome. So, and Jonathan is, and so I know they'll see those and I can answer that at the end. So it's from idea to reality, the path to business success. And what I like about this title is I have actually created my signature program that's called the path to success, because it is what has taken me from starting to getting to the place where I am now. So let's talk about the foundation of this path to business success, right? And if you guys been following me and you've been seeing my posts on LinkedIn, the foundation started with mindset. And even though I started this a few years ago, over the years, I had to change my mindset. Sometimes we have to pivot. Sometimes we have to innovate. Sometimes we have to make changes. And we're like, okay, I don't want to do that. And sometimes we have to realize that things have changed. It used to be you could post on Facebook and everybody would see, right? Well, it's not like that anymore. Or it used to be you use this business jargon and these industry terms. It's not like that anymore. It's about being authentic. It's about being you. It's about showing up. It's about giving value. And it is about serving. And that's what gets you on this path to success. So I had the foundation of business success for me has been mindset. And I like to say, when you change your mindset, you change everything. Your business changes, your life changes, your relationships change, the way you look at things change, the limiting beliefs start to fall off, the doubt starts to leave. When you change your mindset to realize success is for me, you're going to see the magic happen. So that's the first thing. So the next thing is, you might be thinking, well, who is this? I am Marsha Lynn-Hudson. And people say, well, what do you do? Well, my business is about helping you grow yours. And that's my website there. And that's my latest book that I've written, Crushing Barriers. Because when I started changing my mindset, I realized I needed to crush these barriers. Like, is this for me? Can I do this? Well, everybody's doing this. Well, I'm not this person. Look at what this person's doing, comparing myself. And that is not the path to success. I had to say, this is me. This is what I know. This is how I can help. This is who I can serve. And that's when things started changing. So that's when I wrote this book, Crushing Barriers, Succeeding in Life and Business. Because when we crush those barriers of doubt or limiting beliefs or comparing ourselves to others and looking what others are doing, wow, the magic happens, right? So my free path to profits toolkit is at my website. You can get that. But let's get ready to go on this journey, okay? So I hope you have your pen and paper. I got 6 quick steps because I know I only have about 30, 35 minutes, but I want to take you on this journey, okay? And I want it to be what you want for your dreams and your goals too. I'm gonna bring this down. So when I think about this journey from idea, getting it out of our head, and I posted, well, I think my sister posted today, about getting these ideas or our idea out of our head and getting it onto paper. And that's the first thing, or getting it out of our head and putting it out in the universe. And then the universe starts working for us, right? And so when we start thinking about this journey, because it is a journey, and I know it's a lot of awesome people on here. I see you, like Jonathan, Alicia, Amy, Jeffrey, Jay, it is a journey. It's up and down, it's twists and turns, it's challenges, it's all of that. And this journey, if you're like, this is my passion, this is what I want to do, these are my goals, these are my dreams, I'm not letting the twists and turns and life challenges and the distractions, I'm not letting that stop me. I'm not letting that stop me on this journey. So whatever your path is, you got to realize, I'm staying on this path because it's a journey. And eventually, if you stay on the path, you reach success. And so that's why I was saying, okay, so this is a journey. Okay, I get it. This is a journey. So how do we start this journey, Marsha? It starts with your idea. And if you are anything like me, who's been doing a lot. I taught at the college for 23 years. Like we do photography and video. I do quite a bit. I love writing, and I'm a little older now, so I got a little, years behind my belt. I had a lot of ideas. I was like, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this for my business, and I can do this, and I can make money this way, and I can do that. Well, that didn't serve me well. Okay. We have so many ideas. We have so much expertise. I know the people who are on here, you guys have lots of expertise because I've been following you. But I'm going to tell you, and I like to say, you take your idea, you take one of your ideas, you make it work, and when that one works, it's like Amy Porterfield says, then you move to the next one. And she goes, let that one work and see if that one is work. Then you move to the next one. And I call it layers. So don't try to do a whole lot of stuff at once. Pick your idea. And it's like Gary Keller says, make the one thing the main thing. And I like to say, try for 30, 60, 90 days, then move to the next thing. So your idea is what you want to start with. So I said, I think I want to start teaching social media. I think I want to start learning how to teach marketing, how to grow your business online so that our business can continue to grow. That was my idea. So step one was I had to get focused on my audience and I had to focus on me. Who did I want to be known for in the marketplace, and who will I serve? And I know you've heard of it. When you try to serve everyone, you serve no one. Okay. And so I was trying to serve everyone. I was like, I can teach everybody social media. I can teach everybody how to do marketing, and I can make money with everybody. And I could just be everything. That doesn't work. So I'm hoping to save you 8 months of the time that I was back and forth. That doesn't work. So you have to focus on your audience. And I said, okay, Marsha, what do you like doing? What have you been doing? And who are you? I was like, well, I do coaching. I do speaking. I'm a female entrepreneur. I was like, okay. And I'm over 50. All right. I think I want to work with people 40 and beyond, maybe. Even though I do get other clients, I get men. I love my men clients. But I said, I'm going to focus on women who want to be coaches, who want to be speakers, because a coach is a speaker. Women who want to build their business online. Maybe they want to create products eventually. That's what I'm going to focus on. And so when I got my focus on my audience, I decided who I wanted to be. I was like, okay, what have I been doing? I am teaching marketing. I am a marketing strategist. I give all kinds of strategies for different people in their different industries. One style doesn't fit all. And I said, that's what I want to be. And I'm doing leadership training because some of these companies are saying, well, can you help us with this limiting beliefs? Can you help our team with this doubt? And so I was like, that's what I'm going to be known for, a marketing strategist and a leadership training. So the first thing for you, if you have your pen and paper, what's your focus? Who's your audience? And who do you want to be known as in the marketplace? Don't be like me. I was all over the place with this step one, and it doesn't bring in the income that you want because the message falls everywhere. It doesn't fall on the right people, you see? So that was step one, okay? And it's 6 steps in this path to business success. So once you decide and I'm going to bring this down. Once you decide, okay, Marsha, this is who I want to serve. This is my audience. It doesn't have to be really niche down. Some people are like, well, you don't have to niche down. But for me, when I was trying to teach it to everybody, it wasn't aligning. And my message didn't land. And I was like, I'm my avatar. I'm it. I'm a woman. I'm coaching. I'm speaking. I'm building a business online. And so when I focused and I decided this is who I'm going to be in the marketplace, things changed. So if I can give you any tips, and it took me months, I wasted months before I got to that place. You see? And so step 2 is like, okay, Marsha, I got my audience. I know who I want to be. Let me move to step 2. And so, and when I work with clients, they're like, let's get on social media. Let's get on social media. I was like, we are not getting online before we go through step 1 and step 2. Because your offer needs to attract who you want. So your offer, and it's in the workbook that I gave, your offer, and I know Jeffrey's going to put it in, Yes, Adam, overload sometimes, right? That was me. Your offer is your transformation statement. Of course, you can look it up on Google. University of Houston pays me to do research, by the way. So everything I'm teaching you is up to date. Things that happened in 2023 are not even happening now. And Jonathan can tell you because I know he's an expert in this field. But even these 4 months, things have changed. Social media, and I tell my clients, it's called social media. It is not business media. And I think Jonathan or Adam or somebody said it, but the new currency is community. And so your offer needs to match who you want to attract. Your transformation statement needs to say, this is who I serve, this is what I do, this is how I can help you, and these are going to be your results. And so in the workbook, I put a formula for the transformation statement. If you're thinking, okay, I really need to get my transformation statement going. Yes, Jonathan, it's constant. I really need to get my transformation statement going. And I will say this to you, before you even move on through social media and posting, and I told a group, I was speaking to a group, and I got up and the first thing I said, posting is not a marketing strategy. It isn't. Posting and hoping is not a marketing strategy. It's just going to burn you out because nothing's happening. And so you have to have this transformation statement that says, this is who I help. This is how I help you. This is what we do. And these are going to be your results. It's like when I'm working with my clients, I'm like, this is who I help. I help you grow your brand. I help you lead with impact because it's very hard to be successful without being an impactful leader. Getting rid of limiting beliefs, doubt, and fear is very hard. And I help you grow your business online. How? Without the overwhelm with digital marketing strategies. And so when you think about your transformation statement, that's your offer. Okay, that's what you want to think about. So if you're saying, okay, Marsha, I have my offer, I need to make sure it speaks to my ideal client. Because when it doesn't land. And I can't stress that enough. When it doesn't land. Okay. So that's the second part in this path to profits. Okay. So you're like, okay, Marsha, I'm on this journey. Because that's what we are. It's always going to be that. I love business. I love teaching it. I love teaching marketing. I love teaching leadership. I love it. I do it all of the time. But it's a journey. And in the journey, you're going to continue to evolve. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to innovate. You're going to continue to pivot. If you do not, like Mark Cuban said, you are going to be left behind. So Step three in this path to business success for me has been, then you want to create your products and services. Now you might say, okay, I don't have any products and services, and you can build your brand without that. But let's say you have one. Let's say one of your products or services is you do coaching. Maybe you do one-on-one coaching. And you're like, Marsha, I don't want to do one-on-one coaching. Well, maybe you do group coaching, or you say, well, I'm not at that point yet. Well, then maybe you have a product. Maybe you've created a book, because you can leverage your brand and grow your business with a book. Or maybe you created a mini course, or maybe you just have a digital product, or like a bundle or something. You created it in Canva or something. Because when people hear you and they see your transformation statement and they're like attracted to you, you know what they want to say then? What's next? And if you have nothing that's next, where do they go? That's when the posting and liking stops, because likes and followers, it doesn't bring money to the bank. Okay. It's nice, but it doesn't bring money to the bank. So if they get past being a follower and liking your stuff and they move down the funnel, what's next? And so you have something that's next. Maybe you have a mini course. Maybe you have a workshop. Maybe you have a ebook. Maybe you have a digital product, something to keep them in the funnel. So this is the path to business success. We don't lose them in social media. Social media is not a destination. It is the beginning. And so sometimes I'm working with clients and they're like, I'm posting, I'm doing this, I'm doing everything, and nothing's happening. I say, because you've made social media a destination. You posted Monday, you posted Tuesday, you posted Wednesday, people like, and that's it. Social media is not a destination. You have to lead people off of social media and get into your system. So how do I do that, Marsha? Well, step 4, now this is so important. I know I got a lot of awesome people on here who understand this. You have to speak in their language. I'm going to bring it down. You have to speak in their language. I'm a professor of literature for 23 years. So I spoke in a different language, teaching at the university for 23 years as a professor of literature. So here I come on the scene with my business jargon and my information, and I know this and I know that. Nobody cares. Marsha, I really care that you taught at the college for 3 years. Nobody cares. They just want to know, how can you help me in my business and make money? That's really what they want to know. So I had to start speaking my ideal audience's language, which would be entrepreneurs, people who want to coach, and people who want to speak. Because if you're a coach, you're a speaker. You speak online, you're a speaker. If you do a webinar, you're a speaker. It doesn't have to be on a stage. I had to start speaking their language, and that's where AI comes in, right? And AI has been great. In the beginning, I was like, no, I don't want to deal with AI. My students are going to be plagiarizing. I'm a writing instructor. My students are going to be, and I had to get over that mindset. Now I really like AI, and I told Jeffrey I'm actually going to Austin in a few weeks to speak on it at a conference. I'm actually going to speak on how AI is your partner, not your replacement. AI is an assistant, not to do the copy and pasting. I can put my ideas into AI and it can help to structure my ideas. So it's a partner, it's an assistant, it's a part of your team, it's your team member. I even get up and I say, good morning, or I'll say, thank you, or I'll say, I talk to it like it's a person on my team, because it is a person on my team. So AI becomes a partner to help me be productive, to help me save time, and to keep me consistent. And so I'm going to Austin in a few weeks to speak on AI to a group of people on, this is your partner, this is your assistant, this is not your replacement. And so that's what AI comes in when it comes to talking to your actual client and speaking their language. And so you have to say, well, what are they saying in their heads? Where they're saying, why am I struggling with trying to get clients? Why am I inconsistent with my business? How do I grow my coaching business? Well, where do I start here? And so you have to learn the language of what your ideal audience is saying in their head. I know now what my audience is saying in their heads. And so when you learn what they're saying in their heads, now you can create content to that. So now you can create your emails to match what they're saying in their heads. Are you struggling in your business and you're finding it hard to get consistent clients? So now you know what to put in a blog. Now you know what to put in a LinkedIn article. Now you know what to put on LinkedIn, which is, you should be on LinkedIn. That's one of my primary platforms. You don't need to be on every site. Now you know what to say on your podcast. Now you know what to say in your video, on your live or your short or your reel. So now you don't have to keep thinking about, well, what to say, what to say. Everything revolves around your transformation statement and your clients' pain points and their frustrations and their challenges and their aspirations and desire. Well, what do they want? I know my client is me. They want to be successful in their business. They want to make consistent money. They want to pay their bills on a monthly basis. They want financial freedom. They want location freedom. They want time freedom. I had to pack up all of my stuff because it's storming in Houston. We lost power. I had to pack up all of my stuff and come here to La Madeline. Location freedom. They want to leave a legacy. All of those things, that tells you, okay, this is the type of content that I need to be using. When people say, Marsha, nothing's happening with my content. And I'm like, and when I assess it, because I do assess, and I said, you're not speaking the language of your client. That's not what they're saying in their head. One lady was like, I was working with her, and I say, so what do you do? She said, well, I help people with clearing techniques. And I was like, what's clearing technique? Well, I help them get rid of stuff that they've had baggage from childhood, emotional trauma that they had from growing up. I help them get rid of that. I say, well, say that. Nobody's saying in their heads, I have a problem with clearing technique. People are saying, how do I get over the fact that my childhood was this way? How do I get rid of this baggage? How do I move forward with my life? Nobody's saying, oh, I have clearing technique. We can't use these jargony terms. Use the language that people say in their head. And then people are like, well, Marsha, 3 people liked it. I say, stop being hooked up in numbers. That's 3 people. That's 3 new possible people. We get so hooked up in numbers. I don't have 10,000 followers. I don't have 8,000 followers. I don't have 1,000, but I have consistent business every month and every week. It's not about the followers. It's not about the numbers. It's about the community of loyal people and how you're speaking to their language. Then you build the followers. You build 10 more people, 20 more people, 100 more people who actually are in your community because of what you're saying. And now you can take them down this funnel to actually become a client eventually. You see? So I keep making this go back. So that, let me go here. So that is one of the keys to, let me go here. This thing is going backwards. That's one of the keys to attracting your ideal client, and it is the content. And so you might say, okay, Marsha, I struggle with that. I struggle with speaking the language. And I like to tell my clients and my assistant, and we work together. I have an assistant who helps me with posting and all of that when I'm really busy. And I say, okay, this week our content is going to come from a content bucket. And so I like the content pillars. I like the content buckets. Some people call them content pillars, buckets thing. And so I have 5. I have 5, and it's in the workbook. I have 5 content buckets that I post from. And one is mindset. And if you follow me, you see that. And so I might tell her, okay, this week we're gonna speak in their language as far as mindset. And my post might be about limiting beliefs or doubt or fear or something like that, a lack of confidence. So I have a content bucket from entrepreneurial lifestyle. That's one of my buckets because I have an entrepreneurial lifestyle. I have an education bucket where I teach on marketing sometimes and branding and leadership, right? I have a content bucket that's inspiration where I put inspiration quotes. All of these things make up my person. It's not one thing. It's not just business. My person has mindset challenges. My person has entrepreneurial lifestyle challenges. My person wants to be inspired and motivated. It's Monday and they're like, oh, I don't feel like keeping it going. My person wants to learn how to build their business, to build their coaching. And then my bonus content bucket is on me. Sometimes I just post about me. And if you follow me, you know that. I might post about me out walking. I love being outside. I might post like this. I'm at the coffee house. So your language, once your language starts speaking through your content buckets to your people, now you just take that. Let's say you say you're gonna do mindset. If you're a solopreneur, you really only need a 3-day plan. You don't need to be on social media every day. You don't need to be on every site. Okay. And so you might say, okay, it's going to be on mindset. Within your blog can be on the same. Your email, which is once a week, can be the same. Your social media can be the same. So now you don't have to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out what to do, which leads me to step 5. So it's like, okay, Marsha, we're on this path to success. Does it work? It's been working for me. Do I need a lot of followers to make money and build a business online? No, you do not. Do I need to have a lot of money? No, you do not. You need to follow these steps. Amy Porterfield, and I really like follow her, says you can make money online with about 500 loyal followers. Charlene Johnson says, and you can see her on YouTube, you can make money online with about 250 loyal followers. And we know what Pat Flynn says in his book, you only need 1,000 super fans. 250, 500, 1,000? Really? Yes. So yes, so now you're like, okay, I don't need to be chasing followers. You're going to get the right people to follow you if you know your audience, you know who you want to be in step one. Number two, you create your transformation statement because it's all about them. You don't sell your product. You sell the results. You don't sell the product. You don't sell your product. You sell the results. You sell the solutions. Okay. I don't sell marketing and branding and leadership. I sell the solutions. So now, and when I have many courses, I have a book that I've written, I have digital products. I don't sell the courses. I sell the solution. So now it's like, okay, you have all of this. You need a simplified marketing strategy. And my strategy was so all over the place. It was not simple. I'm gonna bring this down. I was doing everything. I was trying to be here. I was on Clubhouse last year. My husband called it crack house because I was always on it. And then I was here, and then I was like, well, let me do this. Well, let me do Facebook, and let me do this. Oh my goodness. Overwhelmed and crazy. And then I was like, I'm doing all of that. Nothing's happening. Why don't I just simplify? Why don't I just give you a system where I'm going to pick 1 to 2 platforms and build my brand and go all in? I have clients who are on one platform and rocking it because you can give your attention more to that. So it's like, I'm going to pick 1 to 2 platforms. I'm going to do like Moran says, and they give me a communication channel, which I like YouTube, and I'm building my YouTube. So that's a plug for my YouTube. So if you're not following me, go to Marsha Lynn-Hudson and become a subscriber on my YouTube. I said, I'm going to focus on LinkedIn and YouTube. That's my primary place. Now I am other places where I have a team now. I have an assistant. Solopreneur, you can't do all of that stuff. And that's like, okay, I'm going to have my podcast and I'm going to do certain things one week, certain things the next week. I'm going to send out my email once a week because I'm going to keep people in my system. I'm going to keep this simple. And I'm going to keep this simple. Monday, I'm going to work inside of my business. I'm not taking clients. I do not take clients on Monday. I do my planning. I do my thinking. I plan out what I'm going to do for the week. I run my errands. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I teach. I do coaching. I do training. I do seminars. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I go all in. Friday, I'm off. It's a simple system. I might do my podcast once or twice a month. I focus on my main platforms. Yes, I'm on Instagram. It is not my main platform. I'm not on there every day. I have a plan to build my brand. Is it working? Well, yeah. I've had speaking gigs all year. I'm going to Austin in a few weeks to speak. I'm going to Galveston in June to speak. I'm going to Atlanta in September to speak. I'm headed to the Woodlands on May the 30th to speak. Yes, this is working. Was it working before? No. I was doing everything. I was everywhere, and it just wasn't working. So a simplified system, and I think we posted about it, has simplified my mindset, my body, my lifestyle, and get this, my business is growing even more. So you might think I probably need a simplified system. Maybe you could do that this weekend. Maybe you can think about what works for you. And people say, well, Marsha, well, what do you think I should do? I have clients. I say, I think you should make a system that fits your lifestyle. I don't work with a client and give a client who's working 10 hours a day the same system that I give a client who's working part-time. The system needs to work for your lifestyle. If you are a solopreneur, if you are a solopreneur, I think keep going, but then I give you a different type of system. If you have a team, then we get a different type of system. If you are just starting out, we have a different type of system. And it's as we go to the last step. And I like to tell people, because people are like, Marsha, I'm doing everything that has happened. Posting and hoping is not a strategy. Posting and hoping is not a strategy. Okay. You need a closing strategy. So, Marsha, I've done all of this. I've done step one. I've reinvented. I've revamped. You might be sitting here today thinking, I need to revamp. You don't need to start afresh. You just maybe need to take the weekend to revamp. I did it. And you're like, I need a, you've done all of this. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're ready for step 6. Now it's time to close. And sometimes people think social media is the end of the funnel. I posted and I'm not getting clients. That's not the end of the funnel. Social media is the beginning of the funnel. You got to take so the closing strategy could be a webinar and you ask them to get on a call. Now they've been following you. They like you. They know you. They trust you. When people like you and they know you, they will listen to you. Now I'll say that again. When people like you and they know you, they will listen to you. But when they trust you, they'll buy from you. When they trust you, they'll buy. Well, Marsha, how do I get them to trust me? Step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now you've been building up. Let me go back one because I want to talk about in this strategy, in this marketing strategy. I don't want to leave off email. Okay, because that is your most valuable asset. All right. Your social media, don't just rely on social media or podcasts or your YouTube, but your email is very important. You heard me say I send an email out once a week. So now you have people in your marketing system and in your community. And so now you can start promoting your products and closing. You give a webinar, you let your email people know, they come to the webinar, you let them know you have a call. You give a webinar, you let your email people know, you let them know you've written a book. You give a webinar, you let your email people know, you let them know I have a free workbook for you. Sometimes the strategy is giving them something free. Sometimes the strategy is giving them a low ticket. Sometimes the strategy is get on a call so they can get a premium item from you. And then you might say, well, okay, you've been doing this for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Now you're like, I'm having a workshop. The workshop is $47 or $97. Don't forget, you got 250 in your email. What Charlene Johnson said, you got 500 people. What Amy Porterfield said, Pat Flynn said, you got 1,000 people in your email. So now you give a $47 item or a $97 item. You send it to your email. 50 people take it. If it's the 47, you just made 5K. If it's the 97 and 50 people take it. Well, what if 100 people take it? You got 1,000 super fans. $97, 100 people take it. You just made 10K. That's the closing strategy because now you've taken them down the funnel. Okay. And so this is how we go as I wrap up, from idea to reality. And from not like me going here and there and everywhere and all over the place and trying to serve everybody and trying to do everything because I had so many talents and so many skills, and it doesn't work. It doesn't take us down the path to business success. It just takes us to burnout and overwhelm and doing everything and nothing's working. I don't want that for my life. So from idea to reality, and then I decided I'm going to make the one thing the main thing, which is the path to profits. My signature program. You want to get a signature program or a signature talk or a signature product. The path to profits. I'm going to make the one thing the main thing, which is the path to profits. And everything is going to fall under the path to profits. My marketing training, my branding training, my leadership training, and growing your brand is all going to fall under the path to profits, because I remember starting from ground zero, no followers, no clients, no bookings, no speaking engagements, nothing. And now here I am with products and books and speaking and traveling. It's the path, and the path works, and the funnel works. And social media is the beginning. It's not the destination. And when you put those steps together, and now you're building a community of people who like, know, and trust you, they're in your email, because social media shuts down. You do know that. You get hacked, and Facebook and Instagram shut down. But you got your community of people who you can tell, well, I'm having this, well, I'm having, they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they will buy from you. So I am so excited that you guys hung out. I was looking at my phone. I was like, okay, I know Jonathan gave me about 30, 40 minutes. It's 2:39. And I can answer questions if you haven't, but I'm so glad that you guys gave me your time today. And I hope you had the workbook. I have my Path to Profits toolkit. You can go to my website, you can scan this bar and follow me. I really hope you go become a subscriber on my YouTube channel. But I'm so glad you gave me your time today. And the thing about it is, today was not about me. It was raining, it was storming, we lost power. I could have just told Jonathan, I just can't do it. But I tried to find a place to go set up and all of that, because it's not about me. It's
Yeah.
about you. Whether it's 3 people or 4 people or 6 people, it's about, or 9 people. It's about those people. And that's why I made it happen in spite of all of this. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I hope you took away some takeaways. I hope you avoid doing some of the things I did, being all over the place. And I hope I can save you a lot of months on your path to business success. Whatever it is you want for your life, whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, I will tell you this: you put it out there in the universe, you make it happen, you get an action plan, you in your mindset believe success is for me. I can have success, whatever success looks like to you, because it looks different to everybody. And I will tell you this, and we're just in the beginning of May, you're going to see a big momentum magic happen in your life and your business on this path to success. Thank you so much. And
Oh
I will turn it over to the powers that be to see if you have any questions or comments at
my
this time. I think that might be Jonathan or
Marsha,
Jeffrey.
it is me. It is me, Marsha. Oh my, oh my God. You are the real deal. You are the real deal, man. For years, I've loved listening to you talk, and I love how energized you are. It's your enthusiasm. It's your energy. I know you've been told this many times before, but it's totally infectious, and it makes you excited to do hard things. I know I've worked with enough small business owners to know how hard it is to start a business. And after listening to you for these past 40 minutes, I'm sitting here going, no, I can do it because it's attainable. And what I love so much about, and again, for a lot of these presentations, I wish we could sit here for hours and go through it. So I so appreciate you finding a way to consolidate. And I know, again, for anyone who checks out your workbook or attends one of your seminars, one of your clients knows that there is, there's such depth to everything that you're saying, and that these sessions go on and on and on. And you've done such a remarkable job of getting us so much information in such a limited amount of time. And I've written a bunch of questions down. I wish I could get through all of them. But first of all, I just want to make sure everyone knows I gave Marsha the out. I did give Marsha the out. She told me about, I hate thunderstorms. I hate thunderstorms. I have stuff as a kid. So she said she lost power, and I was like, Marsha, if you have to hide under a couch today, go ahead and do it. Whatever you got to do, like, we will figure it out. And she did. She said, nope, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get it done. And again, I think, it's such a testament to who you are as a person. It's such a testament to your character and the way that you went, no, these are for my clients, and I'm going to go above and beyond for them, even if they have acknowledged that the guardrails have moved because of external situations. Like, you are proving time and time again that you show up for people. And that's such a huge, we're so grateful that you took time to join us today. But I'm going to shut up. I'm going to ask these questions. So the first thing you said so many things that jumped out to me, and I wrote a bunch down. The first thing you said that I loved. You said tons of things I loved, but this one I wrote in all caps: posting is not a marketing strategy. And Marsha, do you know how many people you say that to and they go, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm wondering so again, I know exactly what you mean by that. And I know you know what you mean by that. I'm wondering if you could unpack a little bit to anyone who says, but I was told that I just have to post 3 to 4 times a week and stuff's going to come. Like, I have more to talk about this, but I'd love to hear you answer that question.
I love that, Jonathan, and I know posting and hoping is not a strategy. And I think maybe you or Adam or Alicia said it this week, ghosting too. For instance, and I work with so many people, and they're like, I'm doing everything, nothing's happening. So let's say you're posting to Instagram everywhere. I know people that are like, I'm on TikTok, I'm on this. I was like, why are you on all those places? But that's okay. And they're posting, right? And they post Monday, and they post Tuesday, and they hoping. I hope I get some followers. I hope I get some likes, right? And so, and they're hoping to get a client. That's the bottom line. They're hoping to get a client. But then when I say posting and hoping is not a strategy, you got to have those content buckets. You can't just go to Instagram and post today, post your stuff and wait for likes and followers. You know this, Jonathan. There's a strategy. You have to post and show up, but your content has to speak to them. Secondly, thirdly, you have to comment. And you have to connect, and give in-depth comments. I tell people, when you give comments, don't just say that's nice or that's fun. Your comment needs to almost be like a TED talk, okay? Because other people are looking too, right? Other people are looking at your content. So the posting has to go with the commenting, It has to go with the content that speaks to the people. It has to go with building the community. It has to go with building relationships. You might say, well, that's a lot. Well, get a 15-minute strategy. Get a
Yeah.
15-minute engagement strategy where you comment and you build relationship. Now you could say, by the way, after a few touch points, I have a free guide.
Yeah.
I have a free guide you might want. Now they download the free guide. They're in your system. Now you can start emailing.
Yeah. And you've provided such value to them already without actually with, something you've already done. So it hasn't cost you, overhead to say, I'm going to give you X amount of my time. You just said, I'm going to give you this worksheet. I'm going to give you this because we've built this connection up. And I love what you also said about because I'm such this is a gospel of mine as well, of like, if you are going to be on every single social media platform, that means you have the time to nurture and grow each one of those platforms individually. And by that, I mean, you're not posting the same content. Why would I follow you on 5 different social media platforms if you're posting the same thing on all 5 of them? Like, again, you can be on all of those spaces, but you don't get to post the same content everywhere and just be surprised that they're not all growing in this same trajectory. Like, it's that, it's that mindset of quantity is not the thing that's going to win you, business, that's going to win you clients. It's quality, it's value, it's people stopping and saying, oh no, there's noise everywhere, but I hear what this person has to say. And that's such a key approach. And there's another thing you said, Marsha, that I wanted to ask you about, that I really, really loved. And I wrote it down. What you talked about, followers. I love what you said about followers. And I think that's something that needs to be honed in on because, and coming from my experience, like, I know what it's like to have none, and I know what it's like to have a ton. And I also know what it's like from working from past jobs, not ones I have right now, but when working in like, old social media companies, working with startups and stuff, and seeing, like, remember the BuzzFeed eras of people who were able to get millions and millions and millions views on videos, and they build these social media accounts, these meme accounts that would have millions of followers. And then all of a sudden they try and sell a product. And all these people would be like, well, why are you trying to sell me something? I'm here to look at, dog videos or whatever it is. And they'll sit there and go, okay, well, we have 1 million followers and only 20 comments. What's the deal with that? And what that boils down to is, what that tells me is you've built a big audience of people who don't care what you have to say. And that's gonna work against you. So what advice would you give to someone? And again, I recognize the privilege that the situation I'm in to say that, but what do you say to someone who really does think that, who doesn't see the reality of, it's not the number, it's the impact that number has, right? If you have 10,000 followers, but 5 conversions, that's a really low percentage. If you have 10 followers and you have 4 of those people interested, that's a much bigger turnover rate.
It sure is. You're so right, Jonathan. And I do a lot of research listening to people. And Sonny Lenarduzzi said it on YouTube. She goes, it's not about the vanity metrics. However, people see that and they think it means something.
Yes.
Some people buy followers. And I would say never, ever buy followers, okay? Because you got bots, you got people who are not, like Jonathan said, they're not interested in your stuff. And it's an article, and you can Google it, about this person had 50,000 followers and couldn't sell 5 t-shirts. You can Google it. So what I have to say, and I had to get over that too. I was like, oh my goodness, this person got 500,000 followers. This person got 20,000 followers. And don't be fooled by the smoke and mirrors, because they can have all of those followers and not be making any money. Let the proof be in the pudding. People who are speaking, people who are traveling, you see them getting coaching, they posting on. So you want to build with that system. And I had to get over that too. And people are still like, oh, they got all of these followers, 100,000 followers. You want to get a system of, like you said, Jonathan, you can have all of these followers and they don't even care about what you do or say. Maybe they liked or they followed, and that doesn't bring money to the bank. Yeah. You want to have, like Pat Flynn said, 1,000 super fans. They all like what you do. They all like what you sell. They love your stuff. So when you do have something, they will buy. So it's like you said, it's not about the numbers. Followers are good if they are engaged, loyal followers who like your transformation. Because don't be fooled. by the numbers, but we see that, we think people are doing well. You'd be very surprised how people have thousands and thousands of followers and no business.
And you look
So
at you.
you have to
Yep,
build a community with the ones you have. You can't be chasing the next. I'm trying to get new followers. What about the 100 that you do have? Are you
absolutely.
commenting with them? Are you building relationships with them? What about the 200 that you do have? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's such a, and it is such a healthy way to look at it. And my thing, my rule of thumb is I always, and you said this earlier, and this is, I'm going to echo this, is look at the comments, look at the engagements. If you see an account, next time you see yourself going, oh my gosh, this person has 200,000 followers, like they must be successful. Look at the comments on their posts. I guarantee a lot of times you're going to see these people who have 6-digit followers and they've got 13, 14 comments on a video they uploaded. And, obviously algorithms, we're all, at mercy of algorithms. And as you also said, these change all the time. But if you've got 100,000 engaged followers, people who are invested in you and what you do, you're going to see a lot more than 14 comments.
right,
And
right,
that doesn't
for
mean you're going
sure.
to see 100,000 comments, but what it means is that if there are ways to kind of see through like you said, the vanity metrics. You can have
Right,
open 50 stores if you want, but no one's buying anything. All you've got is real estate. And it's not selling your product. It's not doing anything for you.
right, right. Instagram said, I was reading, you can tell who bought followers. If they have 6-digit followers and they have 20 comments,
Yep.
they probably bought followers, and that's a bad thing. Never, never, never buy followers. We all start from ground zero. I remember I had 5. I think
Yep.
I have about 4,000 on Instagram. I remember I had 7. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It shows it's such a track record. Like to you, why would you want to, you can't cheat that. You have to really grow. You have to grow it. It has to grow organically and it has to grow through content and community and conversation. And it is like, that's Valencia, you said it, their vanity metrics. And
Vanity metric.
they
I'd
mean a
rather
lot.
have,
Yep. They
I'd
mean a
rather
lot on the
have like,
surface, but
right.
that's,
I'd rather have 1,000 super fans, like Pat Quinn said, than I turn around and give a $97 workshop in the summer and 100 people
absolutely.
take it. That's
Yep.
$10,000.
100 times out of 100 times, that's the right answer. Now, Marsha, you said something else at the beginning of your presentation that I got a question on, and it was actually something I wrote down as well. And this is something that I know you are such a testament to this. And what I love listening to you talk about your strategies. It's so clear that you embody them. It's so clear that you live them, and it's not something that you're preaching. It's something that you're practicing, and that is why you're sharing it with us. One of your big tent poles is about how pivotal it is and how impactful it is for anyone who is able to change their mindset, and how important changing your mindset is for not just change. Now, you also know, we all know that is easier said than done. And I'm curious to know, for someone who might not have the experiences that you have or have the understanding or the training that you have, what are some exercises or some early introductory ways people can go into learning to break down some of these notions they have built up to begin change? I'd love to ask you, how do you change your mind? But we all know that, you know what I mean? Like you don't flip a switch. So what are some easy ways people can start getting into learning how to do that?
That is such a great question, because I will tell you this, I had to change my own mindset. And sometimes, and you know this, we have blocks. And I started doing research on mindset. Everybody was saying your mindset can change your life. Your mindset can change your business. Like, well, how do I do this? Because we have these blocks, right? And so I myself had these mindset blocks, and I had been teaching 20 some years, and I started doing different things, and some of the other teachers were like, why are you going to do that? I've been teaching, I'm not changing. I started learning to do online courses, and I started pivoting and things like that. So the things that I did to change my mindset, as far as one of the things is, I was all over the place and I was overwhelmed. I actually got sick, and I was trying to do so much with the business. I was trying to do so much with life. I was trying to say yes to everything. We need to learn boundaries. We need to know when to say no. So some things I started doing, number one is reading books on mindset. That's the first thing I started doing. Because and one lady told me last year, she goes, I said, yeah, I just been people asking me to speak, but I don't know about this. Or people, she goes, you need to change your mindset. She goes, you need to change your mindset. And I
Yes.
was like, well, what do? I started reading books on mindset. I have one at home on mindset. I started listening to people who talked about how they changed their mindset, they changed their business. I started getting affirmations that I wanted for my life. I started writing them down and putting them on cards in front of my computer. It's amazing how your life will change. I remember in 2023, I was like, I don't want to chase clients anymore. I don't want to spend my life chasing clients. I want to speak every month. I want paid speaking gigs. I want to travel. I don't want to travel internationally. I wrote all this stuff down, and it is amazing how this stuff happens. So I started writing down what I wanted. And when I go walking in the evening, I put it in the universe. I say it. I say the stuff I want. I say things that are not even happening. I get up in the morning and I say to myself, I look in the mirror, kind of look crazy, right? I look in the mirror, I say, this is the look of a successful, profitable speaking coaching. You see, and I say these things, and then so the reading of the books, the listening to and the thing about it, Jonathan, it's not easy. You have to do it every day. And I talk to people. I'm in an accountability group with a few women, and we meet twice a month. My husband's good for me because sometimes I lose that battle.
Yeah.
I lose that
Yeah.
mindset battle. So having people to support you, so well, Marsha, you know that this happened and this is going to change. And reading and putting the words down and writing what you want to say and putting it in the unit and starting to believe it.
Yeah.
And visualizing. Seeing yourself doing what you want. When I first spoke, 3 people came, Jonathan. 2 people really, because one person came with the check. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
3 people, it was in the gallery in Houston. I was like, oh my God, I did all that truth. And 2 people came, one person came. My friend told me, I said, this is not for me. She said, Marsha, one day it's going to be 10 people. And one day it's going to be 20 people. And one day it's going to be 50 people. And one day it's going to be different. And that day, when I was so disappointed and I wanted to stop, I started visualizing.
Yeah.
And I have spoken to 50 people. I have spoken to 100 people. I am going in a few weeks, and they like, we highlighted your program, so expect more people to come. I went from 3 people, I didn't count one, to visualize. Those are the things you have to do every day.
Yeah. I love that. It's such a, I don't mean to keep going back to easier said than done, but you said it, it's a daily practice. It is a daily practice to wake up and set an intention that you're going to bet on yourself. And I'm going to set an intention. Right. I'm going to say, you know what? Even if I don't look in the mirror and believe it right away, I'm going to say to myself that this is true because
that is right.
Yeah, it is. There's so much power in putting something out there and it is putting it out there and just manifesting it in that way is.
So see, Jonathan, you need to write a book on that. Power, words, manifest. There's so much power in words. And that's another thing, we got to watch what we're saying. You got to stop comparing. I had to stop comparing myself to people online.
Oh my
It's so much power in our words. We got to stop comparing us chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 12. We got to stop that. We got to say, this is for me. This is who I am. This success is for me. It's amazing. The power of words, the manifestation, the visualization. You read all about it. It's amazing how it will happen.
It is. And I just from personal experience, I have to tell you, Marsha, I did an event. I've been very fortunate to get to do some cool stuff from this, but I do a lot of events with animal shelters, with dog rescues. And I went to one at Times Square. I went to Times Square this week, and a woman came up to me who'd followed us for a while on social media. And she was, you'd think I was Angelina Jolie, the way she was talking to me. And she was like, I get it. It's social media, like parasocial relationships. But this woman couldn't believe that I was just like a normal person who existed in the world. And I feel like a lot of times, what I'm trying to say is, I feel like a lot of times we'll let our own misguided interpretations of what we think is true become our truth. And we'll put people on a pedestal, again, going back to these followers, going back to, well, she woke up this morning and she looks great. And that means that she's always put together. And that means that she always believes in herself. And we know that's not true. And it is being on this, and I'm sure you have had many experiences where people will come up and they'll talk to you and they'll talk about how they can't believe that you are so eloquent and you're so blunt. You're like, I need you to know that that none of this is what I wake up and comes to me. Like, this is all something I've worked at, and this takes time and practice. And I think when we to wrap up with the last question, I think that's the last thing I want to speak on with you, Marsha, is where do you find, you seem to be someone who has found such joy in the journey. And you're someone who has, again, like even just sitting there and going, you know what, I can look back at that time that I spoke to in front of 2 people and remember that now as a pivotal moment that brought me to where I am today. Because now we're, you know, again, you're going to talk to 500, hundreds and hundreds of people next month, and you're, you know, part of, you know, we've been a huge part of the GoDaddy community, GoDaddy Small Business Week. This is being shipped out all over the place. So you have come such a long way. How do you find joy in the journey?
I love that question too, because, and people think in life, Marsha, how do you do this? Oh, they think I'm always on, and they think I'm always, I get up sometimes just like you, Jonathan. I was like, I don't feel like posting. I don't feel like coming up with content. I don't feel like talking, but I'm going to tell you how I find so much joy in this journey that's up and down. We have challenges. We have twists and turns. We have days that are off, right? We have when, you know, nothing's happening. I consider and I keep my why in front of me. And I keep the dream that I want to create, and I say it a lot, the life and the business I want to create, and I want it to be one that I love. That is how I find so much joy in it. I keep in front of my face, Marsha, don't forget, if you're doing this week, you're investing in where you want to be next month. Don't forget, when you do post content that's relatable, you're investing in maybe getting a coaching client the following month. Don't forget, when you're doing this, you don't know who's looking. Some decision maker may be on there and say, hey, can you come do this? So the reason why I have so much joy, plus I'm helping so many people who are like, I can't really do this. I know you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get so much joy out of empowering them and inspiring them and motivating them. And I'm not just fluff. This is what's happening to me. And I'm just a regular Black woman out here trying to make it.
And making
I'm just a regular Black woman trying to make it. That is where I get the joy. Helping people know you can do this. Whatever your this is, you could do it. And then my why. If I do this, this is coming. If I do this, this is coming. If I do this, this is happening in 2 months. This is going to happen in 6 months. Wherever you are now, your words as I wrap up, whatever you're saying about yourself now, and whatever you're thinking about yourself now at the beginning of May 2024, that's where you're going to be in May 2025. So whatever you're saying about yourself, start saying where you want to happen May 25. Whatever you're thinking, start thinking about what you want. But if you're, whatever you're saying, I can't do this, this is not going to happen, that's where you're going to be. And I don't want that in May 2025. Believe me, when you start thinking about your why, the life you want to live, the business you want to love, you don't want to get up every day. It's like, oh my God. And how you're going to serve people and how you're going to help. One person may have walked away and said, this weekend, I need to change step 2. This weekend, I need to work on step 3.
Yeah.
Because you had a workbook, right? That's what gives me so much joy in the midst of challenges, ups and downs, wins, and all of that. Because it's not all, and you know this, it's not always wonderful. And people see you, Jonathan, they see me, they think, oh my God, it's just wonderful. And we have our stuff too.
Oh my gosh, everyone's human underneath it all, man. Everyone is. Marsha, I got to tell you, my allergies have been having their way with me today, but I found myself getting a little dewy listening to you talk. It's just been such an amazing week. And I think that hit me in a really, that message has come at a very important time. I think there's rarely a time where it's not important to hear that you can do it and that it's worth it to invest in yourself, and that it might be hard today, but the reason you plant the seed is because there will be a flower down the line. And that's such an important thing to keep an eye on during these times. And Marsha, I just wanted to say on behalf of myself and the entire GoDaddy, the entire company, the entire GoDaddy small business community, we are so grateful for you, for the way you not only made time for us, but found shelter to be here for this presentation.
We have no lights at home. I'm thinking about we have no lights. I'm like, I am not letting this go. My sister was like, just cancel. I say, no, I don't care if there's 2 people, they're relying on me. And we can make it happen, you know?
I so appreciate you.
We have no lights, Jonathan.
Oh my gosh. I hope where are you at? Is there, you gonna give
I'm
me a
at
glass of
La
wine where you
Madeline.
are?
Oh my goodness. Yes, they have wine. You
Okay, good.
know that's going to be my stop.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, hey, you know what? There's no lights, but I got my bottle
It's
and
five
that's
o'clock
our thing.
somewhere, right?
Okay,
It's 5 o'clock
it's
somewhere.
somewhere in the Atlantic, let me tell you. But Marsha, we're going to wrap up today, but I just wanted to ask a couple of things right before we go. Marsha, if people want to stay in touch with you, they want to follow along. We have shared the worksheet. We'll make sure that's accessible to people. If they want to reach out, if people want to stay in touch with you, how can they go about doing that? And then please tell us one personal project, one business project you have coming up that you are super excited about, even if it's that conference.
Okay.
How can you learn more
Oh,
about it?
I know. Well, you can definitely find me at MarshaLynn-Hudson.com. My site is very comprehensive. I have a Path to Profits toolkit. You can go there and get that for free. Don't forget YouTube or try to build my channel, but you can find everything. My speaking schedule is on my site. Everything is at MarshaLynn-Hudson.com. But the most important thing that I have coming up, well, I guess it's two, and I'm very excited about. Well, May is Make It Happen month. We're doing chatting with the coaches, and I think I put it up on my site. It's May the 8th. I'm so excited. It's 5 coaches I put together, and these coaches are going to be given the juicy bits. I call it chatting with the coaches,
Ooh.
and it's 5 ladies of LinkedIn. So be sure and look for that. That is 5 ladies of LinkedIn chatting with the coaches. That is May the 8th or the 9th, one of those days. But I did post it and I will post it to my LinkedIn. But I'm very excited about getting these coaches there. It's a great lineup of coaches: a resiliency coach, a mindset coach, leadership coach, a kingdom management lifestyle coach. It's 5 of us. So I'm very excited about that next week. But my 2 biggest things are, and I'm so excited, headed to Austin. I'll see. Maybe I'll run into Jeffrey in a few weeks to
Yeah.
speak to a group of educators on AI, and then I'm headed to June. In June, I'm headed to Galveston to speak to another big group. And the third one is I'm headed to Atlanta to
Yes.
speak. I'm headed to Atlanta in September to speak to a huge crowd, and it's a big thing. So I'm
Well,
just excited about what's going on with speaking
yeah.
and coaching, and just helping people live their dream, create a life and business they love. And as I always say, the secret sauce to your success is not the algorithm, it's not Instagram, it's not TikTok, it
Mhm.
might be banned. It's not all of that. The secret sauce to your success, and I told myself this, is you. It's the choices you make, the decisions you make, the ones you don't make. That's the secret sauce to your success.
Thank you, Marsha. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for setting us all up for, I don't know about you guys, but I really believe in myself in this moment. I feel very powerful. I feel very empowered, and I'm going to ride this wave the rest of the day. Marsha, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us and to share your insights with us. Again, everyone, please follow Marsha. Please reach out to Marsha.